really, I'm looking at you. I wanted to get to know you. What's your name?
So that would be kind of, that would work.
That would work. I mean, it's simple for me. I mean, I'm not a high maintenance person, but don't come over and, disrespect me.
Right.
CJ,
have you ever done this? I mean, are you intimidated by a bunch of girls hanging around? Because girls do go out with the girls. Are you intimidated by that?
It's just, you do have to have that
confidence.
But the club is kind of, you generally going to have a little more confidence in the club. That's just a different kind of atmosphere when you're in the club. But I don't see going to the club to beat Mrs. Wright either. I just don't know.
You don't think it can happen?
I mean, I'm not saying it can't happen, but that's not necessarily my plan going in.
How many of you all have met somebody really special?
We didn't have anything in common, but we did go out on a couple of dates, and we both agreed that it wasn't going to go anywhere.
Right.
So.
What about you, Albany?
I've never met anybody in the club per se, like the after party, the let out, but not yes, in the parking lot. But I mean, I've never. It's the same thing to dress up, yeah. But I've never had a substantial relationship beyond maybe 6 months.
6 months, okay. What about you, Joy?
I have.
You have, actually. So you met somebody, kind of dated them for a while, and
yeah, I had a good friend, chill partner, and we knew each other for about 6, 7 years. He was in the military, so eventually he got shipped away. But yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good. Well, now I had a question about.
Again, we were just mainly friends, but yeah, we had nothing.
Oh, that's good. Well, it's possible. That's what's happening here. One other thing. I'd like to occupation. Okay, something you've met some
chill partner, and we knew each other for about 6, 7 years. He was in the military, so eventually he got shipped away. But yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good. Well, now I got a question about.
Again, we were just mainly friends, but yeah, we had nothing.
Oh, that's good. Well, it's possible. That's what's happening here. One other thing. I'd like to occupation. Okay, something you've met somebody. You kind of, feeling them and all this kind of stuff. And she tells you what they do for a living. Is that a deal breaker? He's nice, got it all going on, but he works at McDonald's. What's happening? Somebody, let's go.
Is he the manager?
Again, I go back to the independence. I don't need anyone for anything, so I really don't care. As long as you're not.
You don't need anyone for anything?
I don't need a man to take care of me in any way, so as long as his job or occupation takes care of himself to where I don't have to take care of him, I don't,
when you hear that, when you hear Brianna saying that, how are you feeling about that? When you hear the woman say, I don't really need him to take care of me. As long as his McDonald's job will take care of him, that's okay with me. How do you feel about that, Shannon? Oh, CJ, John, you gotta say something.
I've been married and divorced. I think there's 3 things that we need to address. The young lady said something about the intimidation factor. I disagree with that. No man is intimidated. I think a lot of that has to deal with how a woman comes off to a man. Me, no one intimidates me. Secondly, you said something earlier about a good job. Relationship is not about a good job. It's not about what you look like. It's from the heart. My favorite line is, I'm an electrician. It really doesn't becomes that. A lot of it also factors on the relationship that you have with your parents. I had a loving mother and a loving father. It defines me who I am as a person, but we all have faults. I have my faults, you have your faults. And the last thing, Brianna, you said something about you don't need a man to, correct me if I'm wrong, to do this and do that, but I think you do. You can't conceive by yourself. So you need a man to sign.
Well, I meant to take care of me financially.
Even the financial.
So I'm saying as long as his job takes care of, that's a specific question. As long as his job takes care of him, where I don't have to take care of him
But it's even from the
financially.
financial piece. When two people become one, you become one. There's
That's
no.
true. But
there's
I'm not
no-
gonna have a problem if he works at McDonald's, that's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, because the question was occupation.
Yeah.
I mean, do you care what, I mean, for men, if you meet a woman who's a pole dancer, I mean, I'm just saying, she's a nice woman, you've met her, she's gorgeous, she's, you know, very, very warm and all of that, and at the second date, you're talking about, what do you do for a living? And she said, well, I go to school during the day and I'm a pole dancer at night. Is that a deal breaker?
Yeah.
Is it really? but the pole dancing is paying for school. I mean, but listen to me, the pole dancing is paying for school.
But CJ, what about if your wife wants to bring a deal breaker? Or what if she wants to bring that pole in your bedroom? It's still a deal breaker?
No, we can still do that. She just can't be my wife.
Oh, she can't be your one? Wow.
But she's good enough for you to have sex with?
He's keeping it real.
Well, and you know what? I agree. You know what? Let me tell you. So the thought is,
It does make a difference.
we can date, right?
It makes a difference.
We can date, but I can't take you home to mama.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's interesting, I think.
Because even though she may be like a stripper at this point, at the end of the day, still people will still kind of classify her as a stripper. Like,
Right.
you know, even though she may not be stripping now, but you were a stripper, and so that kind of negativity is always going to follow. So I can understand where a man would kind of be like, yeah, we can hang out, we can have fun, but you know, this is not who I want to be the mother of my children.
So-
this is not who I want to be the mother of my children.
So the choices you make in life, you know, to support yourself and things like that. When you're trying to make really an honest living, it's not against the law to be a pole dancer.
It's not.
It's going to affect whether or not you will be taken home to mama, or taken home to meet your dad, you know, whatever. That's awful, I think.
It is awful.
I think we don't give people a chance. I think. Go ahead, Tiffany. I'm sorry, Tiffany. You had something you've been wanting to say.
Well, I was just gonna address his comment.
Duran's comment?
Yeah, Mr. Duran. He said that no men are intimidated. I totally agree. Maybe you aren't intimidated.
Oh, that's a good point.
But,
That's true. Yeah.
There are men that are very intimidated. It can be by the way a woman walks into the room and she has that dominant factor about her, and there could be a woman that you just find that you get so caught up into her that you just can't get the words out to approach her. So there are men that are intimidated, and financially, you said something about finances, that they shouldn't be an issue. Well, a lot of the divorces these days are due to a lot of the financial imbalances in a relationship. A lot of men do not like the fact that their woman may be the breadwinner in the family.
That's a good point.
So, and then there's the
not contributing equally in the middle, you know, it can go the other way too.
Right, it certainly can. That's
and
true.
then the occupation factor, like, yeah, it shouldn't matter that the person that you're dating, yeah, it doesn't matter their occupation because you're just dating that person. But when you're talking about a serious commitment, in my opinion, I don't want to be on that level with somebody who's the cashier at McDonald's. We have nothing in common.
Well, Aubrey?
And I have one more thing to add. Although she's correct, I've had men that I've dated actually tell me, you scare me, in terms of, especially when there's a big age difference involved.
And you scare them.
They're getting into the fact, well, my family thinks you're too young, my kids think you're a little too young. Well, I don't know. Well, you can leave me at any time. But if I'm with you, I'm with you. You shouldn't be afraid of fear. I'm not a flaky individual. Once I make up my mind, this is what I'm going to do, I'm with you, and that's it.
You're talking about the older, because you tend to date older men. So
Yeah,
you're
like
saying
if they're dating someone that's 10, 15, 20 years younger,
Right.
then that it is a difference there. Because they're always in the back of their mind, she could leave me for somebody younger.
Wow.
To me, that's a confidence, self-esteem issue. If you see that